Hey guys, it's your girl Taylor, professional caricature artist and lover of theater. I've decided to try something a little different, so I sat down with a few performing artists and had conversations about their shows and projects. This is Drawing Conclusions. I went to the Costa Mesa Civic Playhouse to sit down and chat with the cast of Next to Normal, playing from August 17th to September 16th. Today I'm talking to
I'm Leianna Weaver and I'm playing Natalie Goodman.
Natalie Goodman.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about her?
So Natalie, in the sense of the show, she's the daughter of Diana and Dan, and she is the poster child for moody teen. She's in high school, and I think Natalie, just like within the show, is such a cool representation or image of how like mental illness affects someone maybe like second-handedly or secondary, because she doesn't deal with it herself, but with her mom, it's ever present in her life. So I really like being able to bring her to life and like showing a character like that behind the, well, why is she so moody? Why is she pushing people away? So
you're talking about how like you kind of get to see a different perspective of how somebody is affected by mental illness in their family. Mm-hmm. How do you think the character handles it?
She, she goes, it starts off and you can see that she's very defensive. She's almost become independent or like dependent on herself for getting things done, and she can only depend on herself. Her dad's worrying about her mom, and her mom's not there for her. So, I think you see through, especially her and her boyfriend Henry, you see how her relationship with her mom and her family, how that causes her to like push people away, and how, I mean, you can slowly see her overcoming it towards the end, but she's a very defensive character at first, but she has her reasons. She needs to protect herself because she's been hurt so many times.
Right.
So
she's handling it like a teenager.
Yeah, she's handling it like a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there are ways that you relate to this character personally?
Definitely.
Or are there ways that she's very different from you?
There are. Oh, so the reason why she's fun is because she's very different. Like, she's very just straightforward, and like if she doesn't want to talk to you, like she just won't, or can be very blunt or rude, which is something I try not to do. And so it's kind of fun to be able to just throw stuff out that I normally wouldn't. But also I feel for pushing people away when you just want to protect yourself. That's what it's all coming down to for her. So I totally identify with that.
So Natalie has a boyfriend in the show.
Yes.
Yes.
You see that develop in the show, yeah.
How's her relationship with him? Does she kind of open up more to him?
I at the end, absolutely, but you see in the beginning how she's more like, oh, no, don't talk to me, and then she opens up to him throughout the show, but then you also see her go through extreme pushing him out and not wanting him as things get harder with her family.
Right.
You see her trying to push him away, which I think is really well done, because that's just what we do as people sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
When things get hard behind the scenes, you don't want other people looking in. So,
do you find that challenging, bringing like that kind of emotion to the role?
Yeah, it's it's hard because sometimes I'm like, Natalie's so mean. Like, Henry's so good to her. She's just mean, but she's hurting, and so you have to find the emotion behind mean or rude, or
to still kind of make her likable and relatable.
Yeah, and show why she's being so off-putting, So like that's difficult sometimes. It's like, okay, she's lashing out, but why?
Do you have a favorite part about playing this role?
A favorite part? I mean, I love all her songs. Those are so fun. But I just love what this show does with showing how mental illness or grief or just affects the whole family unit and not just the person that it's on. So I like showing, the secondhand side of that.
You guys are going into your tech week
We are.
You getting excited?
Starting tomorrow. Yes, always like tech week nerves, excited, nervous, but it's coming together really well, and the set's looking cool, so I'm excited.
Can you tell me a little bit about the show and what it is, like what it means to you?
When I got the call that I was cast, my mom, when I get cast in shows, she likes to look it up and see what it's all about. And in this show, Diana gets ECT, electroconvulsive shock therapy. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but shock therapy.
Wow.
And so my mom came into my room one day, and she's like, "Oh, I'm reading up on Next to Normal," and she's like, one of the characters gets ECT, and I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Oh, your grandfather had that."
Wow.
Yeah, and it was either when my older brother was really small or my parents were just dating, they weren't married yet, and I'm not completely sure why. It was just interesting, like it was never brought up.
Yeah.
It was just, I remember like after she told me that, she went back to her room, and I just like sat with it for a second, and I was like, wow, and I'm like, I like to share this story for people like my grandfather who don't speak out on maybe their mental health
Right.
issues, because there's a big movement this generation about speaking up and raising awareness, but there's so many, for everyone speaking out, there's so many people who aren't, and that just personally, like, I think that because I didn't have many, I guess, connections to mental illness. Like, I haven't struggled with it myself, or I didn't know anyone who did, and so,
Right. Or at least that you knew of.
Yeah, that I knew of, and so hearing that just made it so much more personal for me.
So obviously the show is a little dense, and it's probably really emotionally challenging. Would you say it's physically challenging as well?
Not too much. There's no dancing, so it's not.
And even if there were, you would have it.
Yeah. It's not too bad physically. I think it's really emotional that gets me exhausted, but it's a lot of blocking to remember. But
How about like vocally?
Vocally, yes. I knock on wood, my voice hasn't gotten tired yet, so I'm hoping it won't. But there is a lot of music, and it's a 6 people show, so you're all singing your own part, and so you just gotta know it and do it and go for it. And
Right.
so it started, and I remember we were learning all the music, and I was like, I have no idea how I'm gonna get all this down. Like, it's so much, and you're the only one on your part, so it feels like impossible, but
Right.
it's really come together, and the music is beautiful. It's so fun to perform and sing, and just it's great once you have it.
Can you please tell people where they can come see you do the show?
You can come see us at Costa Mesa Playhouse. Come on down.
Come check it out. Come feel all the emotion.
Yes, come feel everything. It's gonna be great.
And when can we come see it?
We open August 17th and run till September 16th.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, I got this for you. Oh, I love it.
That's so cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right.
That's so cute.
Thank you.
Oh, I got my headband.
This has been Drawing Conclusions. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have you drawn your own conclusions? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget, get out there and draw something. See you next time.